Yo, MHU, what's up? Cincy here, coming at you guys with the next installment of the Archer Watch series. The Archer Watch, it is all about an award. The Archer Award is an award that we will be giving out at the end of the cycle to the player that we believe that when we look back on this Madden, they are the player that will stand out. It is an award about legacy. In previous videos, we've had a massive list. I think when I look at this season, the list isn't so massive. I believe some names have fallen off, some names have solidified themselves, some names are still on the cusp and a little bit questionable, but I believe we're getting down to the wire. We're about halfway through this cycle, a little over halfway through the cycle. And if it was to end today, I feel like I know who I would give it to. I feel like I know who would win the award. I think the way we're going to do it at the end of the cycle, once things are close to being finalized, I will compile a small list, and then I'll take that list to the league, and I will allow the entire league to vote on the list. To get more than just my view in on it. But let's go ahead and dive into this. Let's start out with the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks, this entire watch series, the quarterbacks have been questionable, and that questionableness, it continues. Looking at this, the top two quarterbacks are probably Kyle Lauletta and Carson Wentz. I don't think I'd give it to either of them though. Neither of these two guys have shown anything consistent yet. And also this consistency, I think it goes beyond just the player and to the user. Like, I want to see more consistency from Sundance. I want to see more consistency from Amazing, but Amazing's no longer with us. So the entire future of Carson Wentz, it's what? And there's a chance he may have been traded to me, and if he comes to me, he's not gonna win the award. But JTG is taking over the Eagles, so that is going to be interesting to see what he does with the Eagles, what is in the future for Carson Wentz. I'm still crossing my fingers, hoping he winds up in Cincinnati, but there's a question mark in front of both Kyle Lauletta and Carson Wentz. When I look at the quarterbacks, the guy who sticks out to me is probably Josh Rosen of the Saints and what Lone has done with them. 27 TD, 16 INT, 68% completion rating, only 3,874 yards. So he's got a question mark too. But the quarterbacks, there's just one big question mark. I haven't seen the consistency at the top level that I want to see from these guys. All of these guys, they leave something to be wanted. So let's go ahead and dive past the quarterbacks. Let's look at defense. Two players stick out. Number one, the sack leader, Harold Landry, 29 sacks. He's also got 2 interceptions. But who was Harold Landry before this season? He's having a good season, but we've seen defenders come and go every single season. Season number 1, it was Brandon Graham from the Eagles. Season number 2, it was that nameless punk loser from the Steelers. We've seen these stats come and go. Consistency is what this award is about. Consistency and legacy. I'm afraid if the cycle ended today, we would not remember Harold Landry a month or 2 from now. Interception leader, Darren Lee, 20 INTs. That's cool, but who was Darren Lee before this season? And before this season, there was 3 guys at the top of this category that have just fallen off. They did good for 2 seasons, but now they're we're on vacation, bye-bye. Darren Lee's having a good season, but in the view of the entire cycle, I think he's in the same boat as Harold Landry. He's forgettable. He's had 1 good season so far. Now, I got two names at the top of my list. These two guys both had an amazing killer season 1, were probably the two guys at the top of the list in season 1, but they fell off in season 2, season 3. They're like, sup Holmes, I'm back from vacation. The first one, the guy that I would have number 2 on my list, is the guy that I gave a lot of grief to in season 1. I said I wanted to see something more. I wanted to see consistency. I believe with this season 2, he was injured. With this season, he showed that he can be consistent. I still want to see him take the next step. I want to see him take the next step, and that is Todd Gurley. 1,475 yards. He's the number 2 rusher in the league. The number 1 rusher in the league has 1,476 yards. So Todd Gurley is short 1 yard. However, you look past that, Todd Gurley has 21 touchdowns. The closest running back with the number 2 running back with most touchdowns. There's actually like 3 or 4 guys that are tied with 13 touchdowns. So Todd Gurley has 6 more touchdowns than his closest competition. You can't argue with that. I still want to see Todd Gurley take the next step. What is that next step? I want to see 2,000 yards. If Wood can break 2,000 yards with Todd Gurley in a season, like, I think it would be like undisputed who should win the award. Though Tyreek Hill's like, yo son, back up, I'm Tyreek Hill, cause Vinny ain't got control of me no more. Tyreek Hill is an absolute monster. Season 1, Brett destroyed the entire league. Fell off season 2. Brett was on like vacation or something, letting his cousin play for him. In season 3, he's back to form. 1,421 yards, 18 touchdowns. The closest touchdown comparison to him is 13 touchdowns for a wide receiver. And like, Tyreek Hill is an absolute game changer. Like, you have to, like, it's not just his stats, but it's what he does to the entire field. Todd Gurley's having a nice year. But I think if we look back on this cycle, a month or two, a year after this Madden is over, it's Tyreek Hill that we're going to remember. So, I mean, things can still change. We still have a few more seasons to go. But for me, Tyreek Hill is at the top of the list. Anyways, let me know what you guys think, and I'm excited to see what happens next season and the seasons to come. Those of you, the 4 of you, that are still in the playoff hunt, still in the playoff picture, good luck to you. By the time this video goes up, it may be a day or 2, so there'll probably be more playoff progression. But overall, I'm excited. I hope you all have a great one. Blessings to all.